Good afternoon from wherever you're joining us from the first weekend of the new month, the second day of March, the year being 2024. Nonetheless, a lot has been happening in the world of news, and we have those details for you here on TV 47 News Now. My name is Moige William. Welcome on board. Let's keep you informed. Starting off, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has commenced a 3-day tour of Lamu County. Mudavadi, who held talks with County Governor Issa Timami, among other leaders, rallied country leadership to invest in security and peace to attract investors to the coastal county that has often borne the brunt of terrorist attacks through the Boni Forest. The Prime Cabinet Secretary is on an inspection tour of government projects, among them the ongoing construction works of the taxiway and apron at Manda, the Kenya Ports Authority boat standing waiting area at Mokowe Jetty.
The government of Kenya, working with the county government, has been focused on security matters. Professor Kindiki has been a regular visitor of Lamu, ensuring that the security situation is improved. And as a testimony to that, even getting a flight to come here has been a challenge because the number of visitors has suddenly shot up, which is a good sign. So we want the security aspect to also be consolidated and maintained.
Ninafurahia zaidi kuwa kama viongozi tulipata fursa jana jioni kukaa na Prime Cabinet Secretary na tukamweleza zile challenges ambazo tuko nazo katika kaunti ya Lamu. Na mojawapo ambayo ni muhimu ni kuwa ule mgao wa kiserikali ambao kaunti ya Lamu tunapata, na ukiangalia na utathmini ile jiografia ya kaunti ya Lamu kuwa ni visiwa na bara, na gharama ya kufanya maendeleo katika kaunti yetu ya Lamu iko juu zaidi ukilingamanisha na kaunti zingine.
All right, and away from that, advocates for people with disabilities, PWDs, have urged the government to take action to improve the lives of differently abled people by reducing the cost of their assistive devices. Speaking during the International Wheelchair Day celebrations at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, GOtv, Westlands Member of Parliament Tim Wanyonyi emphasized the importance of creating a more inclusive and accessible society. Additionally, they have raised concerns about the societal discrimination, emphasizing the need for the government to eliminate all forms of discrimination and provide equal opportunities for PWDs to realize their full potential.
On disabilities there, but the last time that policy was, I think the government dealt with it was 2006. So in the last parliament, we were trying to bring it up so that we can now align it to the constitution, and number two, also to the act.
Discrimination as far as employment is concerned, as I had said, and number two is transport and transport, yes. So you find that these vehicles are not disability inclusive.
A feeling is that when there is a prescription, when it is prescribed, it is possible for us to make a custom-made wheelchair.
We're also able to train our students. We have students who are actually taking physiotherapy and related courses who are able to disassemble and assemble wheelchairs. And this is a plus because our students go out there with the knowledge on how to do it. Because most of the time people give wheelchairs, but they do not know how to assemble and disassemble.
And now to matters security, whereby Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki is in Rumuruti, Laikipia County, where he has announced the government's plan to strengthening the operational and tactical capabilities of officers deployed at Kirema, Sieku, Segero, and Mukogodo areas. He noted Laikipia is among the counties that has recorded a significant decline in cases of livestock theft, crediting this to the sustained security operation in the area. Further, he lauded the collaboration between Wananchi and the multi-agency security teams, which has yielded high rates of recovery of the stolen animals. All right, there is a story that we are still keeping tabs on. More details in our subsequent bulletin. Let us move on to another matter of importance and also a critical matter that has affected a number of people, whereby Busia Governor Paul Otuoma has urged the national government to expand the Kisumu-Busia road to prevent road accidents caused by trailer tanks. Speaking when he visited the sites of yesterday's accident that claimed the lives of 2 people in Mundika area along the Kisumu-Busia road, Otuoma expressed concerns over the delay in constructing the northern corridor, which connects major East African roads. The Busia County Board said the recent accident serves as a wake-up call for the national government to prioritize road expansion projects.
We are also aware that this is a major road, and we want to urge all concerned parties. This is a very important corridor for Eastern Central African trade, but you have seen this road is really worn out, and it's so narrow, it's worn out, and it is becoming a hazard. So we'll also be urging and engaging the national government to see what measures can be done for this corridor, because we have got 2 main corridors here that deal with the Eastern Central African trade. That is the Malaba Eldoret corridor and the Kisumu Busia corridor. But this road, I think from the 70s, has just been patched up, and the kind of traffic that we are now having, it needs to be done. I know there were efforts, some negotiations with the African Development Bank, but we need to move with speed to avoid such tragedies and also to promote trade.
Away from that, the Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, has lashed out at devolved units for the wastage of resources through travel and hospitality budgets instead of focusing on development. Nyakango spoke in Busia during a monitoring and evaluation tour, where she alluded that most counties, including Busia, lack necessary tools to implement projects as required by law. She, however, lauded Busia for making positive progress on this particular matter.
Some of the areas of wastage that we have observed are in domestic travel. There is a lot of domestic travel. Some of the activities that can actually be achieved within the county are taken outside the county. And also we have seen wastage in terms of not just the travel, but the duration and the number of people. One good example has been the sports. So when there is travel for sports, you find that very many people are visiting those outside stations, and a lot of resources are wasted. Then there is also hospitality. Hospitality is an area of waste in the sense that, you know, some of the items, the expenses we put there are actually avoidable.
Now, there is a looming crisis in the health sector after medical professionals who are preparing to go on strike demanded that the government addresses their grievances regarding medical interns who have been waiting for posting for over 6 months. The medics insist that the country is facing a severe shortage of medical personnel and that the placement of the 1,215 medical interns will significantly ease the workload in hospitals and enhance healthcare service delivery rather. The Kenya Medical Practitioner, Pharmacist and Dentist Union, KMPDU Central Branch, has also commended condemned an attack on their National Secretary General and CEO Davji Atela during a procession in Nairobi on Thursday. The medics say that they will resume operations once the police officer responsible for firing the tear gas is arrested and charged in a court of law.
Money had been set aside to post these interns. So we are not going to re-rent until all those interns have been posted to the places where they are supposed to be working. That is what we had, that's what we wanted to communicate. And this will go on in both the public and private institutions. We know so well that if we stop services at public institutions and then we leave private institutions, those with money will go to the private institutions. For this suffering to be reduced, then we must stop services in both the public and private institutions.
They had better prepare, because we will keep crying in the streets until our voices are heard. A maiming of Dr. Davji is an attack on the entire union movement. All of us are at risk. We dare the executive that the only way to silence us is to offer solutions to the ills bedeviling the health sector, not shooting the leaders.
A direct attack on our leadership in the healthcare workforce is actually an attack on all the doctors, the medical fraternity, and that's why we are here gathered to condemn it in the strongest terms possible. And also we'd like to demand that the culprits should also be brought to book, so that it can be a lesson to anyone who has this kind of stupid idea in their heads to be planning to do similar things again.
To another story, hundreds of families have been rendered homeless following a heavy downpour accompanied by strong winds in Magumu and Motonyora areas in Kinangop constituency in Nyandarua County. Speaking during a humanitarian visit to the affected families, the Nyandarua woman representative Faith Gitau said that although there were no fatalities or injuries reported, the massive destruction was caused by poor drainage and system in the area. According to locals, the heavy rains caused significant losses. Electric power lines and roofs were destroyed. Crops washed away and property of unknown value completely swept away by rainwaters. Gitau has called on leaders from both county and national levels to come up with urgent measures to improve infrastructure in the area to avoid displacement whenever it rains.
Ulikuja upepo ambao ni wa kifudifudi, upepo mkali sana, na ukabeba mali nyingi, ulibomoa nyumba 6, na wakati ulibomoa zile nyumba kuna mali nyingi, karibu mali ya 1500 ndio ziliharibika.
Naomba sana serikali ya kaunti ya Nyandarua at least iweke pesa ya kusaidia hawa watu kujenga mitaro huku katikati, ndio kukinyesha maji na teremka inaenda kwa mito ile iko karibu na hapa, ama tujenge damu moja kubwa sana. Wakati tuko na mvua tunafanya ile kitu tunaita water harvesting. Ati tukiwa na mvua tuna harvest maji, kukiwa na kiangazi tuko na maji ya kulima.
The county government of Boma suffered a blow after a Nakuru court ruled that more than 1,000 employees were unlawfully sacked 2 years ago. The Employment and Labor Relation Court sitting in Nakuru directed the county government to pay the affected employees and issue them with employment letters. Justice David Nderito ruled that the rights and freedom of the employees under the Constitution were violated by the unilateral decision to sack them in September 2022. Justice Nderito further ordered the county to pay the affected employees within 30 days all pending salaries and benefits. The court also argued that the county should not advertise or recruit any person to replace the employees in their position. The employees, through the County Workers Union, moved to court in January 2023 to petition against the termination.
Today we are here and we are very happy because the court has pronounced itself very loudly that these workers were the legitimate workers in this county, and they are deserved to be employed as it was employed by the four leaders of long time ago. Most of these employees were employed during the defunct local authorities. Others were employed since the devolution came to this area. So there is no need why we choose these employees. And the orders and judgment has given a very clear way, employ them, pay them their dues, which they are deserving. So there is no need for anybody, either public service board, either county assembly, either the executive, to object this.
When the county gave them notices of 3 months, we went to court to seek justice, and we are grateful now, because the judiciary ruled in favor of county workers. In fact, the county workers are now happy. They are now going to get salaries from from January 2023 up to now, which is around 14 months.
Indeed, a relief for Bomet County workers. Elsewhere, the spouse of the Deputy President, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, has urged parents taking care of children with disabilities to enroll them in different schools instead of hiding them for fear of social stigma. Speaking at Kizurini Comprehensive School in Kaloleni, Kilifi County, Pastor Dorcas called on the parents to show love to their children born with disabilities and grant them the opportunities to showcase their skills, abilities, and knowledge.
Mkiona watoto wetu muwapende, muwasaidie, muwapeleke shule, wako na akili timamu na wanaweza kusoma, wako na hekima, na ukiwaangalia walipokuwa wakicheza dance hapa hata wanawashinda. Si ni kweli? Mnawashinda watu, ukiona wakikaa hapa hata hawezi cheza kama nyinyi. You are the best. Yeah, the best there is in the world. Yes. You have no limitation. Hakuna mtu anaweza kuwazuia kuwa washindi. Nyinyi ni juu ya washindi. Kwa hivyo mkiwaangalia mnashukuru Mungu kwa zile vipawa ambayo ametupatia. Mtoto ni kipawa cha Mungu.
Of my Sunday school years, tulikuwa tunaimbiwa the little things that you do to your brothers, that will be done unto you. You gave me food when I was hungry. You gave me clothes when I was naked, and you gave me shelter when I was being rained on. This is what you have brought to us. It's Christmas for us.
Yes, yes, yes. You are the best. All right? And West Pokot woman representative Kasiwai Rael has gone against the grain and opposed Azimio leader Raila Odinga's bid for the African Union Commission chairmanship. Kasiwai, who spoke during a Meet the People tour in Sigor, flanked by area member of parliament Peter Lochakapong, said Raila's exit will leave the opposition weak to check on the national government excesses. President Ruto has rallied Kenya Kwanza to support Odinga's bid at the continental body where Kenya is expected to nominate Odinga as its candidate.
Siwezi unga mkono kwa sababu kazi ya opposition leader ni kuweka checks and balances to any government. And mimi natambua kwamba Raila amefanya kazi hiyo na ako na uzoefu ya kufanya hiyo kazi hiyo vizuri. Kwa hivyo huenda akienda labda kutakuwa na president wetu labda hatapata ile opposition ama hatapewa ile checks and balances katika serikali. Na asi ya opposition ni nzuri sana katika serikali yote ile katika dunia hii.
All right, now to matters farming and agriculture. Farmers in Kirinyaga County have been urged to adopt new technology in rice farming. These emerged during the second Kirinyaga Business and Agricultural Expo held in Mwea, where farmers were encouraged to utilize machines for planting, spraying and harvesting rice. This shift towards mechanization is aimed at reducing losses from planting to harvesting stages. In addition to embracing technology, farmers have been urged not to hesitate in taking up loans to support their farming endeavors. It has been observed that insufficient financing has hindered farming activities, leading to over-reliance on imports, particularly of rice.
It's one commodity that we are looking at. It is even in the better policy, where we are saying our rice, we should produce more rice, because currently we are producing less than what we need. What we are seeing in the market is a lot of imports, and Kirinyaga is endowed with the land, the suitable land. With Dimba Dam, we are expecting the rice production to go up, and with that to even put more money in the pockets of the rice farmers.
For us, we are looking forward at the partnership that we are playing